Hello friends, today we are going to see how to use Figma. So all we have to do is we have to go to this figma.com here. So once we go here, we can directly access Figma here. Alternatively, you can download this and install in your system also and you can use it. But that needs an active internet connection. And uh, you can just log in through the login option here and you can do the sign up here. For signing up, you can go to this and you can click on either with Google, and in case if you're having a different mail ID, you can try with that. So I am trying with one of other IDs and trying to create an account, and it will be like 2 or 3 step process, and you can enter the name, and then you can enter what kind of work you do, and you can agree to the conditions, and you will be able to create your account. Since I'm already having the account, I'll log in. So I am logging in with my Google account, which I use for my works. I prefer to log in with my email ID, and also mostly I will use it in the browser rather than downloading it in an application. There is not much difference, but I kind of prefer using this. I don't know, maybe I'm already so adapted to this environment than that. It is easy for me to copy paste some of the images from other websites to this. That could be one of the main reason. So we can see the title is mentioned here as untitled. So this can be renamed to anything that we prefer. Let's call this as design one, and currently this is under the project called drafts. This is where we usually can put our draft works, and in case if you're having like a multiple projects running, we can put it in different folders here. So for that, we can just have to click this and we can move it to the new project. So by default, Figma will offer one project per person as a free account. So in that, you can create a number of files inside that, so that wouldn't be a problem as long as uh, I don't think they will change it anytime soon. So this is free for our use. So we have like 3 different columns here. One of the main area we can see here inside this ruler, we will do our design works, and we have some properties panel kind of things in the right side. And the left side area, we have 2 options, actually 3 options. One of them is layers assets, and we have the pages. So this is looking like an accordion. On clicking that, it will open up page lists. So if I want to create a new page, I can add it here. So if we see, we have a menu bar here. So on clicking this, we can access multiple options for Figma here. So unlike Photoshop, it is having like very limited amount of tools, which is easy for anyone to learn and adapt it easily. I was able to use it like in 30 minutes. I was able to learn this and I was able to use it because I had a previous experience in Adobe XD. But few of my friends were able to do it within a hour. They are able to use it for a minimal usage. They are able to create a post and they will able to publish it in their social media platforms. So it is that easy to use this platform. So the major tool that we'll be using in, or major key we will be using in this application, will be the move tool. That we right over whatever we see here is the move tool. So the shortcut for this is V. So this is something like a media term. Whenever whichever applications we open up, move tool will be the default application, and the shortcut for this will be V. So that will be the default option selected. So what we have next is scale is something like if we need to transform object or scale it bigger or smaller, we will be using the scale option. So and then what we have is frame and slices. We will come back to slices on some other time, but frame is something that is the work area that we will be using. In some of the other applications, it will be called as artboards or some other names can be there. In Figma, it is called as frames. So once I click this, what I'll be getting is in the right side, I'll be getting like a different list of things that will come up. So on this, I can see the different phone sizes, and I have the tablet sizes also. And I have, if I'm designing for Apple Watch or something, I can choose the size here. Even for I mean print related designs, you can do here. Even for social media posts like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Dribble, you can post it here. especially dribble. I find it very easy to, it is hard to remember everything together. So these presets are really helpful here. And we have options to prototype here. We'll come back to that later. So what we can do next is, normally most of the times I'll be designing for desktop or phone designs. So I would rather go to desktop size, since it come in different variations. According to your developer, you can discuss and decide which size you should go for. But I prefer to go for the 1440, which is the actual normal desktop size, and also it is pretty commonly used. So this is the artboard. So to move across this artboard, what we can do is you can use your space bar. On clicking space bar, this will change this icon to like a hand kind of a tool. It is technically called as a hand tool. So I'm still holding my space bar and I'm moving it. So I'm able to uh, navigate across this across the screen. And also by clicking Z, it will turn into a zoom icon. By holding Z, I'll be able to zoom a specific area. So if I click Z and Alt button together and I'm clicking it outside, it will go to zoom out mode. So I'll be able to do that. So by clicking Control 0, I'll be able to fit the zoom into 100%. So these things can be done with some other ways too. So this button hand symbol, what we see here is the hand tool. We can use this also to do it here. So we almost cover like half of the tools that's provided in Figma. It's like only like three more tools that we need to know. And one of the thing is pretty obvious, that is text tool. That is something even a kid can play around with it and can do. They can explore it and create it. So you can click a text tool and you can just create a box and you can type it inside that. So this is called as a bounding box, and whatever you type will be sit on this specific box. Say if I don't want to restrict inside a box, all I have to do is click on this text icon, or you can just go with a shortcut called T, and you can just make a click, and you can type whatever you want here. So that will be, can go like to the end. Only the problem is sometimes it can go outside the screen, so those kind of problems might come. So depends upon your usage, you can go with any one of the ways. So for zooming in and zooming out, I prefer to use the shortcut. So the plus key is for zooming in, the minus key is for zooming out. So that is so easy to zoom in and zoom out and move across the screen. And what is pending is uh, obviously the shapes that we're going to create in this area. Say for example, we'll be creating some different shapes and we might have to combine them, and we will be creating designs out of this. So pretty much this is the operation that we are going to do. Probably we may apply color or stroke on it. So on clicking this rectangle icon, we'll be able to create rectangles out of this. So it's pretty obvious, like everybody knows this. So I can just click and drag and create a rectangle. Say in case if I want to create it like a square, I have to hold my shift button and I have to draw it. So no matter wherever my mouse moves, it will still be a square. If you want to know one more interesting thing, you can click this and you can just click the Alt button and you can drag it. You can just duplicate it. This is one of the easiest thing that has been common in any of the design tools. Anyway, clicking delete will delete. Pretty obvious, isn't it? It's one of the easiest tool out there. Yeah. So in this drop down, we can see few more options like line, arrow, ellipse, polygon, star. Yeah, and even we can place some images using these options. So I am out of my last 2 years of design works, 90% I have used only rectangle tool and Eclipse tool. These are the most commonly used tools after next to Move tool. So I would like to give an intro to the Eclipse tool. It's like you just drag and drop, you can create Eclipse. And the shortcut for this is O. It's like, I think it's derived from the word called OL, I believe. Rectangle it is R. I think it should be L for the line. Let us check it out. Yep, we are right. Shift plus L is for arrow. Nice. So if I need a perfect circle, what I have to do is I have to click the shift and I have to go for this. Done. This is how we can create basic shapes and elements in Figma. So you might wonder what these two options do. If we click this and move, yeah, it will move it. And yeah, like I said, using Alt, it will duplicate it. And K or the scale tool will help us scale the size of the image. You need not have to click scale tool always. All you have to do is you can just click this, you will get this bounding box and you can expand it. It's pretty easy to. Hmm. When I clicking this, I am seeing more options here on the right side. I did not notice it for the first time, but I came to know the specific individual details about this later. So what comes to my mind when we say XY is the in 11th standard mathematics, we read about the x-axis, y-axis, and everything. So I believe it will be part of that, and it is yes. So it is measured in pixels. Whatever we see here is pixels. That's how in UI design it will be like measured. So whichever whatever we see is we see here is from the pixel values. But the thing is our 0, 0, that's the initial point is the left top corner. If I say 0, 0, it is from the top. Am I right? We'll check it out. I'll just try to enter 0 here and 0 here, and I'm clicking tab. Yep, it is moving to the left top. So this is 0, 0. Say, for example, I need to give a space between, I need to give a space of 20 pixel to the top and 10 pixel to the left. What will I do? I will just enter it like 20. I think yes. Yeah, I will enter it like this and I can move it like this. Say, for example, I need to add a 10 more here on the top. What will I do? Should I mentally calculate and do it? No, that's pretty tough to calculate while we are doing intensive design work. So what we can do is we can just click plus and we can enter 10 and just click enter. It will automatically calculate any basic arithmetic calculations here. Don't ask me if it will work. It will give me a reminder value or something. I don't know that. Okay, this is pretty boring and dull design. At least show me some colors. Don't say this kind of things. We are out there. We are there. So this constraints is something that pretty interesting tool, but also a little bit complicated for beginners. Uh, when we click this, we have different options here. So this determines how this object should work inside a frame. Say, for example, whether it should stick around left if the frame is extended or shortened. Whether it should stick, it should be in the center, or it should be in the, it should consider the space between left and right together, or it should scale it. Those kind of decisions will be made based on the settings that we give here. Say, for example, now I have given scale for this, and we'll see I have given left for this. I will remove the rest of the things for now. So let's see what happens if I expand this frame. So to expand the frame, I'm just clicking the move tool. I'm just going to the end of the bounding box and I'm moving it. So do you see the difference? Do you notice the difference here? So this is expanding because we have given scale here. So this is sticking to the left and it is having a fixed value, whatever the value that we gave here. So basically, these are the width and height that we gave here. And what we see next is the angle and the corner radius. So this is also pretty obvious. Angle is something like, say, if I want to stick it with 45 degree, that will be like the angle. And the corner radius is like, the edges of the phones are always like having a corner radius. So to match that, people will started designing with corner radiuses. So if I say like I'm giving 10 pixel, at the end it will be like a smooth edges. It will be easy for the eyes while seeing in the mobiles. So because of that, now even websites started adapting the same things. That's a different story. We'll come back to that later. So if you're aware of Photoshop, there is there is a concept called layers. So since Photoshop is like the mother of all design applications, some of the properties of will be inherited here too. So here we have the layer properties panel where, say, for example, if we have two different layers, how it should behave can be determined by this properties of this option. So I'm clicking this and I'm clicking multiply, or say I want it to be darken. No man, I'm not able to see anything. Yeah, because both of the colors are same. So there is no use here yet. So what I will do is I'll try to change the color of this. How will I do that? Yeah, here. So for me now, this is actually, let's say pass through, or let's say normal. So these two objects are like on top of each other. So the eclipse is on the top and the rectangle is on the behind. Even we can change the order of that to front and back too. That is by right clicking it, we can go to bring forward, or we can say send backward. We can do. We can do that by control with the arrow. I mean braces. How do you call that? So this is a shortcut for that. Bringing forward, you have to click Control plus this close bracket, and with you have to step it backwards. You have to go the other way. So once you started working, you will not have the memory of what it is. You will suddenly will be switching with the tools. It will take like 1 month of practice maximum to master this completely. Yeah, coming back to the layer part. Say for example, if I want to multiply the color of two different layers, I can click this and I can see, so that these two colors will be merged and it will be multiplied. But normally this will not be useful in UI design much, but when it comes to images or some of the cases, it can be useful. And what we see here is the transparency, or we can call it as opacity. Say like how much of percentage it can be visible. Say for example, in a car window, if you're seeing, we'll be able to see it like a, we'll be able to see it with a tint. So similarly, we can do that. So say for example, I'm giving 50%. So now it has become like more tinted here. Technically, this is like 50% opaque, so that I'll be able to see what is behind 50%. Interesting now? No? Okay. Say I can control this with some other easiest way. We have the numbers in our keyboard, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Say for example, I want to set it for 100% again. Okay, we'll go to 100%, and say I have to go to 50% again. Well, designing faster, we don't have to go there and click it again. All you have to do is you have to click it, and you just have to click number 5. When you click number 5, it will automatically take it as 50 percentage. Say for example, you need it to be 10%, it will be like 10%. Yeah, I had the same doubt. What if I want to give it for 15%? 1 5. So with the speed of I typed 1 5, it automatically became 1 5. So this makes work very faster. It may look very simple, but this is the powerful tool that we can get out, especially for free. Say let's get back to 100% here. Say for example, I don't want to see it for a while. I just want to see how the screen will look without this red patch. I'll just have to hide this and then I have to open it. So similarly, there is something called fill and stroke is there. Fill is something like just the name says, it is filled inside. So this color is filled inside with 100% of opacity. So if I want to remove this, I have to remove this. And if I want to just add it, I will just have to use this plus button, and I'll have to just click on the colors. So once we click on the colors, we'll be able to navigate. Since on the go, we'll be using multiple colors in the document, we'll be able to select them here. Mhm. So if you want to add a stroke, we have to click this plus button, and we will be able to add a stroke here, and we can choose the color for it. Just for the sake of visibility here, so I have increased the thickness of stroke. So whatever see here is pixels, so this is a 10 pixel of thickness of stroke. Say for example, I want to have a dotted line of stroke. Can we do that? Yes, we can. So on clicking these three buttons, we will have these options. We can enter the number, like for 5 pixel, every 5 pixel I should have a 5 pixel dash should be there. So if I give that, we'll be getting the dashed lines. It is looking so ugly, I understand that. Say for example, if I want this dotted line to be outside this rectangle, I have to choose this option called outside. Much better. Yeah, we'll see what this does when we click center. Yep, pretty obvious. Speaking of this, we have different properties for text. Say for example, I'm typing something. I have typed. What if I have to increase the font size of this? What will I do? Similarly, on clicking this, I'll be getting different text properties here. Say for example, if I want to right align this, I can do that. Middle align, right align, I can do that. Left align, I can do that. So normally in a print industry, they will use something called justify, which will stretch out the text from A to Z like we see in newspapers. But this is not the newspaper industry, so that we never in any of the website people will never use justify. So don't ask me for the justify option here, how to do that. No. And we can increase the font size here, and yeah, we can change the thickness of the font. So this font will be loaded from your system, and if you're having like an organizational account, what you can do is uh, you'll be having libraries from your account. You can take that from also uh, you can take that from your cloud account. Probably I can explain that in a better way some other time, how this font's taken. For now, it is taken from a local storage. So, and then we have something called line height and the first line spacing and the letter spacing. These things can make wonders in this. So, for example, I'm having like multiple lines. I can increase the spacing of that. Oh, it's out of the screen. Should not have given. Say I'm making it as 100, it will double the spacing. And now, let's say I'm typing auto, it will get back to the actual value. It's still ugly, I get it. So sometimes we have three different options. So this is the fixed size kind of a text box, and this is auto height. So when we say auto height, the more we type, the box will uh, adapt to the height. Say for example, I'm typing one more line. The box will extend according to height, but it will not be stretching the width. I mean, it will not extend the width. So the other way is it is a fixed width, sorry, auto width. So this is the other way. So the more we type, it will extend in the width direction. Even though I'll be able to enter here, but the idea of the thing is it in the CSS it will reflect as fixed width. Don't ask me what is a CSS. We'll be there. So we have the option to provide effects also, which is rarely used except for drop shadow. That is something very common in UI designs. Say for example, I don't want to give a stroke here. Instead of that, I need to give a good car design with a great drop shadow. I can give it here. So I don't see anything here. Can you? Okay, let's see if we can change the values here. Again, X and Y. Let me guess. It's the X and Y direction. But why? Probably it's the direction that shadow will fall. Yeah, pretty much. Say 5. And we have given a color here. Let's say I'm not able to see it. Okay. Why am I not able to see it is because I don't have anything filled inside. That's the reason. Let's say I'm filling something. Yeah, let it be a white color also. That's fine. But it should have something inside to have a shadow. Without shadow, you can't, without any object inside it, you can't have a shadow. So on clicking this, I can control the XY coordinates. Say for example, I want it in the all directions, which means the light is falling from the top. So I can give 0 and 0 so that it will be evenly spaced out from the all the directions. On and then I can click on this and then I can increase the blur so that it will be having more blur values. But I still feel like it is not visible if I'm seeing from a long distance. What I can do is I can change the color value, or I can just increase the opacity of it. You can play around with it and you can explore it. You can create your own design out of it. You don't have to really enroll for a course and then you have to learn this application. This is pretty easiest tool. pretty much easiest tool. Yeah. Okay, there is something called export. Let me guess what that is. Probably I'll be able to export this as a image. I think that's what it will do. Yes, we are right. So by seeing this, I'm able to understand that it will be exporting as a PNG, and this is the button to export. But I don't know what this 1x will do and this suffix will do. So 1x is something when you design for iOS, you have to design it for multiple screens. Because when iPhone is invented, it was an of iPhone. If you remember iPhone 4, it will fit in your hand like a TikTok box. But now it's more like a how do I say? It's even bigger than my actual hand. There's a OnePlus phone. It's having a different size. But while designing, what we have to do is we have to consider all different sizes. For that, Apple is saying a thing you design for 1x, we will export that as a 2x so that 1x will be visible in iPhone 4s, while 2x is visible in iPhone 10. So this is an example. So similarly, for different versions, you have to while developing, they will take the 1x and 2x values. So while exporting the specific image, we have to choose the 1x and 2x everything and click export here. Ah, it downloaded the PNG. Nice. Will I be able to download this as a JPEG? Let us try. Wow, we'll be able to download this as SVG also, PDF also. So everybody know what a PDF is. Some may not know what is a SVG. So what can be SVG? Let's Google it. That's how most of us learn. So it's a scalable vector graphics. When we know what's a vector graphics, it's a mathematically calculated shape. Once you expand, it will automatically expand. It will not pixelate or anything. So that's the same thing. It is more like a vector object that can be downloaded. This is the format that being used in UI design industry for displaying icons, so that your file will be like very small, even though you show it in a big screen or something, or you're displaying it in your monitor, or you're designing it for your phone. It will adapt size automatically so that it won't pixelate too. So this 1x we were talking about, if I want to export it as 2x, I will have to choose this. Say for example, I have to download both 1x and 2x. I have to click this, and I have to choose this. So just in case for the suffix, I can say I want to mention it as iPhone 4s. For this, I have to say iPhone Max. I can enter this here and I can click on download. It is combining and giving it as a zip file. And yeah, I'm exporting my files in my another monitor. Yeah, it's here. So this is the folder, and we can see, yeah, it is naming it. Oh, it's the when they say suffix, they actually mean the suffix of the file name that is being going to be exported. Nice. So we have few more options called prototype. Oh, they're giving introduction to me. Yes, nice. So on clicking this prototype, we are getting multiple options. So it is giving me, I'm clicking this plus option here. So this is probably asking me to define the interaction, what is going to happen here. So say for example, I want to give a hover effect to this. So I'm clicking this and we have a list here. So I'm clicking while hovering. What should happen? It should open overlay. Say for example, I want this to what I'm doing is uh, changing the color of it while hovering it. So that's what I'm trying to do here. So I'm changing the color here. So how to see the preview of it is we click the frame and we click this play button here. Okay, present button here. Let's see how it looks. That's done. Okay, so I have defined this as another frame and I'm clicking on this and I'm clicking prototype and trying to set this as hover. So while hovering on this, it should open overlay. Which frame is the Eclipse one? So it will be on top of this, but where it should position is manual, especially on top of this. This is we will discuss the entire individual object in some other video. I'm just giving an introduction on this. See what is happening on moving on this. It will just change the color. So like this, we can do multiple micro interactions in this. So also we can control our scrolling behavior here. Say for example, some screens might have a horizontal scroll, some screens can have a vertical scroll. So those things can be controlled here. So inspect. This is something that makes the developer's life easy. So on clicking this, this will give the CSS value, or in case of iOS or Android, it will give a uh, the basic CSS style code it will provide. So I'm clicking this specific element. It will give the specific details of the object, and also it is giving the properties of the animation that I have made here. Sometimes even we can make complex animations here. It is hard for the developer to know which second what should happen. They won't know. But when we give this as this kind of a variables, they will be able to understand it easily. So for CSS, they can just simply copy paste it. I think they can just click it to copy something. Yeah, they can just click it and just copy it, and they can use it in their CSS files. They can do it. This is something very interesting for the developers. So we have the pages also we have discussed. So whatever we create here will be displayed in the left side. We will be able to see the names here. We'll be able to double click and we can type the names here. So apart from that, we can see our profile properties and other things here. It has a pretty good collection of plugins too. I use a lot of plugins in Figma. That is something very interesting here. And there is a lot more things. We can see it in the future videos. Thank you. Bye bye.